Yo, JD here, Limitless, and we are back on F1 2021 as always, and we are continuing our Hotlap and setup guide. This time arriving at Russia, Sochi, which is a track I've been told has the worst curbs on F1 2021. So we'll see how we do. Viper currently on top. I know he's very good around here, and usually controller players are quite decent round Sochi for whatever reason, because I think traction is a big part to play as well. But as always, we're just going to gloss over this first lap and then dissect it for the next one. And this here, I really didn't spend a lot of time in this, and I didn't really push this lap time any further because I tried Viper's setup and the others, and for some reason their setups just don't particularly work for me most times. I think I've used Vipers around other tracks and they work fairly well, but for the most time I don't actually like whatever the top time setup actually is. I either find it too oversteery or too understeery. For me, I found it too understeery for me personally, and I really feel in a race situation, especially with the different compound of tyres, the mediums, you really need to fire them up and have that quick change of direction. And I think that's what this set does very well. And as I said, I didn't really push to that time any further because I changed my set quite quickly after a few laps. And within 2 to 3 laps, we got down to a 28.7 in under about 7 laps, which I was really happy with. So we got up to speed very quickly around this track. And as I say with setups, if you can get a lap time very quickly and you're consistently doing it, then for me, that's what a good setup is, rather than just doing 1 lap out of 100, which is a good one, but then it's not usable anywhere else. So you can see here, made a couple of mistakes because I was still warming up with the track, but it's a 28.6, which is only enough for P9, but another 10th would have been almost in the top 5, top 4, something like that. So I was quite happy considering how long we spent on this, and it just feels very good and exactly what you would need online. So as we start the lap here, you've got a long straight. Make sure you get the DRS on. It's the second line out of those two. Quite easy to actually miss, usually because you've got a shadow. But coming into this turn 1, a very tricky braking zone, but you want to be looking on the left-hand side. As the black box goes out of view, just before the 100 meter board, that's where you want to be braking and turning in. In terms of how much curb you take, try and take as much as you can, but avoiding this sausage curb. And then on here, you can run straight line this on the exit. Now stay nice and tight. Try and mount this curb as much as you can. It will actually gain you a little bit of that time. And then for here, just before the curb starts, that's where we want to be braking and turning, going down through the gears nice and slow. 4th gear, run on the curb at the exit, and overall that wasn't too bad. This one's a little bit more feeling as you go into the curb, so about a car length in, so just after the 100 meter board, that's where you want to be braking, turning in. Kiss this curb on the inside, try and avoid that sausage curb. As I said, let it run on the exit. Now you can gain a lot of time going through into here. After the black box and just before the 50 meter board, you once again try and take as much as you can without mounting this sausage curb. You really have to attack these corners. You can see we lost a little bit of time through there. And this one, again, it's really by feeling, but just before the bridge, that's where you want to be braking, turning in. And we do this one very nicely, avoiding that sausage curb. As we did it, took a little bit too much on the corner before, let it run on the exit. Now going to up into 7th gear. Once you do, just before the 50 meter board, that's where you want to be braking and turning in. Graze this curb and get a good exit. Stay nice and tight to the right hand side to minimize the distance as always. And you can see we've got a very good exit off that corner. We actually do the fastest last sector of anyone, and this one's really about feeling again. So you want to be braking as the wheel is almost straight. So before the 100 meter board, as it's straight, that's when you want to be braking and turning in. Avoid the sausage curb. As the car's in the middle of the track, you immediately want to be attacking this left-hander. Again, avoiding the sausage curb. Stay tight, don't let it drift out too much, and we get a very, very good exit of here. As you pass the blue crane, that's where you want to be turning in. 3rd gear, take as much curb without the sausage curb as you can. Open up the corner, sacrifice for a good exit, and then upshifting into 4th gear just to maximize that traction. We get a really good exit. Have to attack these corners, and just after the black box, that's where you want to be braking and turning in fourth gear. So take as much speed as you can here. Don't get the best exit, just don't want to run on that too much. And in this one, for a time trial, you really want to just attack this as much as you can, going up through to it and crossing the line. It's a 28.6, and I think we can definitely beat this world record in time, but I will save that for another day. So I was very happy with this. The wings and the setup is very different, again, to what my rivals use, because honestly, sometimes they do work, but for the most part in this game, I've really had to find what works for me, and that's what I encourage for others as well. But I'm thinking more of a race situation. When the tyres don't have much grip, you really need that downforce. And we're running 8.6. They were running, I think, 7.9. So a lot more understeering. I feel in a race situation, that would just be too much for the medium tyre. 75, 60, high on the off throttle, since we've got quite a pointy front end, just avoid it over rotating. This is purely for stability in the high speed. So all the way to the right, no rear camber, don't want to over rotate the car. Definitely don't want to do that. 1.2, so it's very good over the curbs and the traction. The 2.9 is really to assist with the high speed grip, and 2.7 as always 156. 22.6 just for a little bit mechanical grip, just sacrificing a little bit of the straight line speed, but we already have it with those wings, and we're just going to save this up now. So I found this to be very, very good online. That's what I always try and base my setups on. And some setups like the 1-to-1, I think Ron Haas was very understeery as well, which is going to be very good for the traction if you can keep up through the corners. But for me, in a race situation, I tried my setup at Bonza, and you just need that downforce in the race. You just really, really do need it. So you can see we actually had a purple last sector, so a very good last sector. Lost time in the middle, and with the controller, I think it's very good on the traction in the first, although I think we can definitely match that if we absolutely nail it. So overall, very happy with this. Hope you're enjoying the game as well. Thank you so much for your support on the channel, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.